Hey there, it's Davide from the PSM team. In this tutorial, I'll show you how administrators can customize bot responses using information coming from their flows, as well as the ones being captured as bot entities, so to provide a richer and more personal experience to the customers interacting with their platform. Before we start, please make sure to check out our previous videos exploring Q&As and task bots. I'll leave the links in the description below. So here I have the sample chat flow I downloaded from our GitHub, just with the purpose of demonstration, as the same works for any other channels. In here, I customize it by adding the task bot and the Q&A bot nodes, followed by the chat message nodes that will present the responses back to the customer. In this flow, I'm also using the chat template form, which has been created to collect the customer's name, email, and mobile number. As you might remember, all the responses for each field are stored in a dedicated node output variable visible in the receive node. These variables can be reused inside the flow to customize its logic, and, as I'm about to show you, they can be used by your bot responses too. If we open the taskbot node, but the same is valid for a Q&A bot node, we can see that at the bottom of its configuration page, there are two sections, customer parameters and message parameters. Both are indicated as optional, but they serve the same function with a small difference. The customer parameters are stored inside the bot for the entire session duration, while the message parameters are considered only for the next bot response. The message parameters are a legacy functionality, and for this reason, it is recommended to always use the custom parameters instead. When defining the parameters, the administrators have to indicate a name of their choice and the respective value. In the example I'm showing here, I'm passing through the customer name and mobile I collected via the initial chat form. However, administrators can also use static values or gather data from external data sources, for example by using APIs and custom nodes. Now moving to the bot builder, here I have the taskbot configuration I'm referring into my test flow. In here, I'm opening the new custom intent I'm planning to match when I will trigger this flow. This intent has been created with the idea of matching few specific messages, which will also contain an entity. In this case, the entity is called date and is used to capture the requested date. Please note that the parameters we define in the flow cannot be used inside the intent definition, but only within the responses. So let's have a look now at the response indicated in here. I navigate to the responses section and select that response. I can then edit the text inside the existing variant to include the information I want. In this example, I want to greet the customer with the name they provided, and then give the date I captured via the entity. To do so, it's just required to enter the syntax of $, open curly parentheses, then a list of all usable variables will be automatically prompted. To use the ones provided via the customer parameters, we need to select the consumer data.extra_params, followed by a dot and then the same syntax specified inside the node configuration. If instead we were using the legacy message parameters, we should have used the syntax of extra_params followed by a dot and the field name. But as I said before, let's stick to the custom parameters. As soon as we close the curly parentheses, the interface will highlight this text as a variable. Now, to use the date, we need to use again the syntax of $, and open curly parentheses, followed by the word entity. Please note that if you use the Tab key on your keyboard, the interface will autocomplete the variable syntax, leaving you to simply edit it. In this case, as my entity is named date, all lower cases, I will just update it accordingly. Let's now save this bot configuration and make it live. Before we run a quick test, I just want to show you the Q&A bot where I customized the response associated with a greeting article to use the customer name and mobile. Just a quick heads up. Please remember that if you use any variable in the bot responses, those variables must have a value, else the response will be displayed with an error message. You can see that when using the preview option. For this reason, it is highly recommended to ensure these variables will always have a default value specified inside the flow. Now, if we move to a test website and we trigger the chat widget, we can enter the data and then the message to trigger the desired intent. As you can see, the bot is responding with the data contained in the two variables. And the same happens with the Q&A bot. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, this behavior can be replicated for all the digital channels using Cisco native bots, and soon the same principle will be available for the voice channel once the new native voice virtual agent is globally released. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching and see you soon.